You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, King Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Doctor Who After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Doctor Who After Show.
Oh, I want to dance to this every week. Hey guys, Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another after show for Doctor Who. This is the Talons of Weng Chiang, and it is from February 26, 1977, and my co-hosts are dancing. I am Jenna Busch here with Jennings, Roth, Cornet, and Matt Lieberman.
Howdy.
All right. Oh, that's just, it's so
lovely, isn't it?
Stirring.
Love it.
It's stirring.
Yeah.
See, you like that?
So that reminds me, there is that moment in Harry Potter where the reporter, who we all know, is like, it's
Rita Skeeter.
Rita Skeeter.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. I'm actually a crazy Potter freak, but she says it's stirring. And we're already off topic. Let's gear back.
Cool. Well, actually, just before we start, just because I know there was a trailer dropped for the Christmas special.
Yes.
Did you guys check it out?
Well, there was a trailer
And a
there was-
minisode.
And the minisode.
which was awesome. And FYI, let's just jump way ahead to news and gossip, because there is a rumor, unconfirmed
rumor,
that David Tennant is coming back for the 50th episode, you guys.
Yes, indeed.
Which, hey, no matter who's saying it, people have been saying that for a while.
Yeah.
So we're gonna call this a rumor until we see it on screen.
Basically, until we see. Although, I mean, this was not like, you know, whodooyouwantin'em.com. You know what I mean? Like, so.
I go to that site every day.
Every day. I mean, they do fabulous
How do you spell
work.
that again? you always tell me, and I always forget. Who do you want to?
HWXYZ.
L.
Okay.
Who do you want? But it's still a rumor.
Yes.
Yeah, still a rumor. And also there's the rumor that River Song will be back in the final episode of the season.
Can we? All right, so let's just talk about quickly from the trailer and the webisode.
Yes.
I am already a little, I mean, this was my favorite moment, though, was before, not even actually in the material, but when they're doing Matt Smith. And when they're doing the intro, and he's like, I've lost Amy Pond. She cannot be replaced. and then she's like, hello.
Yeah. She's like, hi.
Hi there. But I'm a little in love with her. Right?
Yeah, she's adorable.
She's adorable.
So cute.
So adorable.
Have we ever felt this affectionate towards a new companion this quickly? I mean, we haven't even, you know?
It's legitimately, she's adorable.
She really is.
And so 1,000 prepubescent crushes were born.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the angels sprung forth.
Don't say angels. They scare me now.
They do. Yeah, I just cannot wait. I mean, I still, my only hesitation is that I was so enamored of Oswin that I'm like, Clara better be just as cool. But I really think she's going to be.
Definitely. Okay, so let's get back on the topic of this episode. Just because I think we're going to do a first half of season 7 recap show the week before Christmas.
Okay.
Potentially, just to get us in the mood for the Christmas special.
Get you in the mood.
Yeah.
Well.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
All right then.
It's getting a little warm in the studio.
It's a little Spanish Dr. Fly in your drink.
So this is the 6th and final serial of the 14th season of Doctor Who.
Yes.
It was the only Tom Baker episode not to feature one of his trademark scarves.
Yes.
Because they were doing the Henry Higgins. They were doing the whole call out to like
a Sherlock Holmes thing.
Well, they were doing a Sherlock Holmes thing, and then they had her doing kind of he was the Sherlock Holmes, but then they had her doing the Eliza Doolittle. So the two costumes, and then they for a minute I think were thinking about permanently switching it to like highlight the Eliza Doodleness of it all.
The Eliza Doodleness. But I also think that that there's no way the male audience would have been okay with her losing her skins.
No, she needed her leathers,
or the undergarments in the in the sewers.
Right, the undergarments in the sewers.
Those also worked.
Did you enjoy those?
I had a great time.
Did you?
I have to say, I think that you guys probably touched on this last week, and we touched on this previously as well. He is my favorite.
Yeah, I like him.
The classic Doctors, like by far, and she is now my second favorite companion.
Yes, I like her a lot.
I enjoy her.
She's now my favorite companion, I think.
I think the trend for me is that they're not like the companions that I'm enjoying are not of that time, of that era, are not like that era contemporary humans. There's something different, you know. She's obviously
she's a cave woman.
She's kind of a cave woman from the future.
And Romana's a time lady. And she's alien,
which is also kind of amazing. So that's. I mean, I guess they just couldn't find a way to make a female character interesting if she was like of the contemporary Earth.
But at least they switched it up and did this. Like she picks up the giant turkey leg and just starts chowing on it, and she was like, "Give him a drink." She picks up the whole bottle. I like this chick.
I do. I think the moment that I really liked her is like she's willing to give him a little bit, like right at the open. She's like, "You're trying to annoy me," you know. And I was like, "Oh, I like her. I like her already."
And I just love how fighty she is. She doesn't care what the doctor says. She's gonna go after people that she doesn't like or that she thinks have done wrong. She's gonna try to stab them.
Yes,
because that's her first instinct, and it's a great instinct to have.
I enjoy that. As you all know, I'm quite stabby, and I appreciate that she throws she throws knives into.
She does lose
Peking homunculuses.
Oh my God!
I mean, she does get a little like damsel in distressy though. But I mean, that's going to happen
in any show of the era.
Right. In any show. Yeah. Well, even now though, because the doctor ultimately has to be the ultimate force and the hero.
Yeah.
Of it all.
Yeah, indeed.
I was talking to you guys about this a little bit before we started. And I, on Thanksgiving, as you do, watched Big Trouble in Little China.
Sure.
Yes, totally normal. And it's funny because then I watched this the next day, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold the phone, Lopan. Those glowy eyes came from, and I cannot.
Li H'sen Chang.
Li H'sen Chang's glowy eyes, right? But Lopan is in Big Trouble in Little China. So, I was like, wait a minute, Li H'sen Chang and Lopan have the same kind of glowy eyes.
Yep.
And there's like just similar riffs kind of and themes in it. And I cannot prove this, but I was like, I wonder if they were...
if they lifted it?
If they lifted elements from it, you know, because definitely Big Trouble in Little China is kind of a mashup of a lot of different things, you know?
You can definitely see inspiration being taken from it.
I think so.
Now, this episode is one of the most popular and beloved of all of the classic Who's among fans.
Yeah.
It's really only second to Caves of Androzani, and in some respects is more popular. But I want to talk about the
racism.
Well, not just racism.
Let's talk about
not
it.
Not just racism, but also just political incorrectness with little people as well.
Oh my God.
Which, I mean, while time period appropriate, is just glaringly, painfully out there.
Yeah, today.
Yeah, just the use of the midget is the word that they use, which is a derogatory term.
Right.
Yeah. And let's talk about how we cast our lead character, who's supposed to be Chinese,
as a white man.
Yes.
But I mean, that was up through. I mean, when was Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Oh, I was just talking about that today in reference to this episode.
Yeah, because that was.
Wasn't that late 60s?
It was the late 60s, and that was maybe one of the most egregious kind of examples.
I actually can't watch that movie because
of Mickey Rooney's character.
Really?
I know a lot of people that feel that way. I mean, I tend to agree, like on a moral, ethical level, like it is really horrible, that character.
Yeah.
And Mickey Rooney's kind of depiction, and it's like doubly so because he's so famous.
Yeah.
You know.
So like he should know better.
I don't, because he's famous. I don't know if that makes
that makes you extra
I think
smart.
there's something on it that just sort of highlights like this is just crazy. This is like Mickey Rooney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do love Breakfast at Tiffany's. I love Holly Golightly, and I like that character so much. But anyway, with this, it did remind me of that.
Yeah,
as well.
it's just the way that that the Doctor and Casey and Professor Lightfoot were discussing like those.
You mean Professor Watson?
Yeah, well, those Chinese ruffians, you know, breaking into my house.
Yeah, and even when the one line from, and I'm just gonna let you pronounce his name.
Li H'sen Chang.
Thank you. When he's like, oh yeah, we all look the same.
Yeah.
Like at least there was a momentary nod to yes, we know what we're doing. But
Isn't it terrible?
Yeah. And look, be entertained. We know it's bad, but just be entertained anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, to your point, like watching Big Trouble in Little China, which is like a pleasure because it's kind of like a silly, ridiculous, big, crazy B movie from the 80s that I adore. But even watching it, I mean, I jokingly was to my friend going, my God, why didn't they ever make a ride from this? And I was like, oh, right, because you would like totally offend entire courses.
Incredibly racist.
It's incredibly offensive.
Incredibly racist.
And horrible. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Now, this is the first 6-part serial that we've watched. It's incredibly long.
It is.
But there's a lot of plot here. It doesn't feel incredibly padded.
Yeah.
There's a lot of struggle between our main characters. We have the Doctor and Leela over here. We have Li H'sen Chang. We have Weng Chiang, or as we come to know him, Marcus Greel.
Yeah.
I thought it was like
Melty face.
Magnus.
Magnus Greel. Magnus Greel.
Magnus Greel, melty face.
Magnus melty face.
Wait, here's one thing that we haven't touched on because we've been so caught up in racism and other things.
Lots of racism.
Lots of racism. Did you guys like it?
I really liked it.
I have to say there was a lot of, like you said, there wasn't a lot of filler. It felt like it was moving. There were things going on. I definitely got the whole Victorian things hunting you in the sewers feel. The rats were hysterical.
Oh yeah.
Really funny. But I have to say
they didn't look that different from what is it? Rodents of unusual size. RUSs
from Princess Bride. In case you guys did not
they didn't look that different than them, which I thought was
to
interesting.
me it looked like they just did like a close up of a rat or a rat puppet.
A rat puppet.
Yeah. I thought it looked kind of, just because it was very dark. Here's where I'm at. I think that the first 2 episodes, the first 2 parts of this are as strong as any episodes they've ever done. I do think that it.
Oh, you mean in the classic?
In the classic is as strong as any they've ever done. Lots of comedy, lots of movement. There's a lot going on, and a compelling mystery, a compelling villain. As it goes on, and we're introduced to Weng Chiang, who I think, like many villains of this era of Doctor Who, is kind of playing everything at one level.
Right.
My interest started to wane. I enjoyed the whole thing, but for me, I had to break it up. I had to watch it an hour at a time. Hour, take a break, hour, take a break, and then watch the third hour.
Right.
Yeah. No, I actually did too. I mean, I think for me, like the set and the way it was shot was really well done.
Yeah.
Except for the rats. But it was actually really interesting for me to see, talking like about something like Caves of Androzani, like, and the sets there, and you're like, oh wow. But this, I'm like, oh no, this makes sense. This visually makes sense to me.
I mean, there's been a couple that have been like, this is just painful. Carnival of Monsters was not enjoyable on the production design level. But I will say this too: in the Baker episode seemed to be a little more. There's more movement, in the camera work. It feels a lot more organic. There's yeah, there's just kind of a more filmic feel to these episodes than some of the other ones that feel so painfully staged and stagnant. I think the editing is a little more, the editing moves a little more in these episodes too.
Well, this period of Doctor Who was Doctor Who at the height of its popularity and the height of its budget.
Right, so they had the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can totally tell.
And I think that Doctor Who succeeds best when the script and the budget meet somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think that for the most part, except for one or two effects, this story and its budget met in the middle.
I think so too.
And it held together very well on that standpoint. Really, the only thing, like, I didn't mind the rats because it's a period thing.
They made me giggle.
But they're nowhere near like the blob monsters from the Three Doctors.
True. No, they're nowhere near that level.
Yeah.
And the rats, I mean, I think because they reminded me of the ROUSs a little bit, which in that case they were like sort of pointedly so. I didn't totally mind them either, and also they weren't a totally crucial part of the story. I think that where I liked the kind of like Sherlock Holmes / idea of the Jack the Ripper and kind of thing going on of the mystery of it all. And I would agree with you that once we understand what and who the villain is, it does get kind of one-dimensional. He becomes less interesting to me as a character. I like the whole theatrical element of it because I think that that's something that the show kind of likes to explore sometimes, which is, and really any great, film or television or theater, all the world's a stage. It kind of like delves beneath like what's happening backstage and what's beyond all this and like the world of the theater and stuff. All of that was really cool, but I don't think that this was the most. It's interesting because I don't think this was actually the most interesting storyline we've seen. I would say that the Caves of Androzani, to me, had a more interesting foundation storyline, but it wasn't executed as well as this one.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, I mean, there's so many, but I have to say that, like, I did enjoy this one, and now that I'm starting to catch up with you guys as far as Tom Baker, he's definitely my favorite classic Doctor.
Yeah.
Just so good. I'd also like to point out that I just got the box set.
Oh yeah, the new one with the
it's got the sonic screwdriver and all 6.5 technically, and all of the specials and. Sorry.
Sweet. I just want to point out in terms of the reception of this episode, Russell T Davies mentioned in an interview that the Talons of Weng Chiang first episode, he calls it the best dialogue ever written. He says it's up there with Dennis Potter by a man named Robert Holmes. When the history of television drama comes to be written, Robert Holmes won't be remembered at all because he only wrote genre stuff, and that, I reckon, is a real tragedy.
Wow.
And I think that goes back to what you were saying about it not necessarily having the most, like, iconic or developed plot, but the writing, the dialogue, especially in those first two episodes, for me, is just so incredibly tight. The comedy is tight, the characterizations are down flat, and you've got a decent mystery going on.
I think so too. And then it kind of falls apart a little bit. So it's weird because I understand why those are 1 and 2 for kind of different reasons. But this was the first time that I didn't have that feeling of, wouldn't I love to see this done again, but better now? You know what I mean? I really felt like that took the core idea of it and did it just as well as it could be done, which, I mean, other than, maybe in the first half a little more, other than maybe that villain, which, I mean, just at that time, that's what villains were about.
And it's a style of acting. I mean, I just saw a movie that I'm not allowed to talk about yet, but there is a character that, sometimes it works when the villain's one-dimensional.
Right.
And there was a character that was just...
straight up one note.
Yeah.
What movie?
I can't say.
She can't.
I'll tell you after.
What movie, Jenna?
I'll tell you later.
I bet I saw it.
Getting back to it, I loved our little homunculus. I loved Mr.
Okay,
Sid.
you know
Let's
how
talk about the homunculus.
I know.
You know how I feel about creepy ass dolls.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't care if they've got pig parts and
But he's played by Deep Roy, who was all of the Oompa Loompas in the 2005 Willy Wonka or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Also, I just watched that again, and I can't unwatch it.
Yeah? It is kind of terrifying on a level.
Wait, Roth is singing this.
Jenna, coming for you.
Oh my God, I'm so creeped out.
I actually loved the homunculus too.
Yeah, I mean, it totally worked.
It was
the
super
fact that
creepy.
Super, and it was the one thing that I thought that's like clever. That's a really clever idea, kind of in the sci-fi way to bridge these two eras, these two worlds, because I thought that that Magnus and becoming the god didn't totally work, you know what I mean? But that really meshed, bringing the sci-fi element into this weird theatrical world that was also about ancient China.
Yeah.
Like that was the one character that I was like, that nailed it. Like make him the villain, kind of like here to just like, you know, because to me that's so frightening, the idea of this entity that's only really interested in chaos, no reason, just you know what I mean? Versus somebody that's like, once again, and we've seen it so many times before, like, I'm trying to get home and so I must suck your energy. However, what I thought was cool is that he's like sucking the energy of young women, which is also kind of, it was sort of, it's kind of a classic horror trope, which I thought, vampire.
It's a vampire.
Well, yeah, I mean, vampire, like Countess Bathory, you know.
If you guys don't know who Countess Bathory is, look her up.
Yes, she may have been responsible for the Iron Maiden and other things, but she thought that like drinking the blood of virgins
and bathing
in it would keep her young, and she was bananas.
Damn.
Yeah, someone needs to do an episode with her in it.
With Countess Bathory? Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Writers, are you listening to us? I'm quite certain you are.
I know.
Guys, before we go any further, I just want to say, make sure, you guys, we really appreciate you watching, so make sure you go and subscribe to iTunes and rate us well, please. We would love that very, very much.
We read all your comments, and speaking of, we have some amazing people that tweet us on a weekly basis, so we want to do a shout out right now to Father Wizard, who is in the hospital. He's going in the hospital tomorrow. He says he's going to the hospital tomorrow, and so he's having some heart issues, and we want to send him very good thoughts and well wishes.
Our thoughts are with you, and you know, good luck, be well, get better, and we'll be right here waiting for you.
Yes, with brand new episodes.
With brand new episodes.
For your entertainment pleasure.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, just...
For your entertainment
I don't know what's been happening with the voice today.
Yeah, I know.
I like it.
You're doing a thing.
I like it.
I'm on board. I'm on board the train.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
You can just dial that up right there.
Well, actually, we should talk about what episode we're doing next.
Yes.
Well, we're gonna do. I just found out that we're gonna do the recap. Exciting.
I just thought, you know, it's been a while since since the first half of season 7 ended. Everyone's getting ready for the Christmas episodes, so why not go over, you know, where we think season 7's headed and everything that we know, just so that anybody who, you know, maybe wasn't following all of these classic episodes can kind of get back on board in time for the Christmas episode and really join in the conversation.
Right.
Okay.
Just in time for your presence.
Yes.
She's doing the voice thing too.
I am. I can't yet caught it.
Should I?
I caught it from you.
Should I get in?
I caught it from you.
Should.
Okay.
I think one thing that Jenna and I talked about, and I think the three of us are gonna, and you guys can go ahead and chime in and let us know what you think. Is maybe moving away from the classics for a minute and just pulling a couple of our favorite episodes here and there, as you like, as we gear up to the return of Series 7.
Hey, I'm 100% down.
All right.
100% down.
If I put you on the spot right here, what would your top 3 be right this second? You can pick one.
Okay.
But you should pick 3.
I'm going to pick 3. Blink.
Yes.
Unicorn and the Wasp.
Okay.
Dinosaurs on a spaceship.
Wow, you love that one.
I love that one so much. I don't care who knows it.
Okay. No shame in your game.
No,
mister.
There is no shame in how much I love dinosaurs on a spaceship. There is nothing more fun that I think I've found in like the last 5 years.
He's ferocious today.
I cannot stop loving that episode. You can't make me. Don't even try.
I like dinosaurs.
Matt's wrote it up, you guys.
Boom.
Just with so that attitude. Know. We haven't had a good SmackDown argument in a while.
I know.
I feel like something controversial should really pop up.
Well, we have all this racism and little people objectification.
I think we're pretty much going to be on the same page about that. We hope. I mean, we're looking for something that we can reasonably argue about without either one of us being like evil.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know that we've had that recently.
Right.
I don't think that rifles made in Birmingham work well at all.
I do.
Oh, well, you're wrong about that.
I'm never wrong about anything.
I demand to see proof.
I can't even say that without laughing.
Yeah.
Sorry. So yeah, Blink is my top.
Yeah.
So,
I like Blink. I like, but it's
the Doctor dances.
Yeah, Blink kind of exists in its own. We've talked about this before, though. Blink kind of exists in its own like one-off world, I think, with like Midnight, which is also really cool.
Yeah.
Well, another one that is really, it's a really big one for me, and I'd love to do this because Neil Gaiman is doing another episode, as we know. I would really like to do The Doctor's Wife.
Let's do it, baby.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Neil Gaiman's my boyfriend.
Is he?
No.
Can I borrow him, please?
He is not my boyfriend, but he is the first celebrity I ever followed on Twitter.
And he is very
awesome.
Tom Baker-esque in appearance.
Yes.
He is.
He wears the long coat. No, I've interviewed him a couple times, and he's maybe one of the nicest people I've ever interviewed, and I think he's awesome.
Awesome.
We love
Okay, well,
him.
you guys go ahead and let us know if there's anything in particular that you love of this modern era that you would like us to discuss.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll be something that we've never thought about that's amazing.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And you know what? Another one, if I were pressed to like say favorite episodes.
You are pressed.
I'm pressed. I would say Unicorn and the Wasp. I think it's just so
I thought
fun
you did
and light
say
and
that.
breezy. I said it a few weeks ago.
Okay.
But
well,
and
wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
wibbly wobbly, let's.
What do you want to say about this episode? To wrap it up.
About this episode, I think that it definitely holds its place in Doctor Who lore for a reason. Like the dialogue is just so crisp. It's Baker at his best. Leela is so like action
I don't think it's
heavy
Baker at his best. I thought Baker was better
in City of Death.
In City of Death, yeah. Only because I think they were falling in love during the making of that episode, and you can kind of tell like that lent a little energy to it. I think. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I think there are just lots of great moments. I love the part where the Doctor is backstage and he reveals the dove inside the dish.
I know.
And just basically everything Leela does in this episode, like just every stabbing, every like cultural anachronism, and like her outfit, her like with the poofy sleeves.
You like
and
the
hat.
poofy?
I thought it was adorable
Matt
and very
likes
funny.
poofy stuff.
Okay, guys, let's not get this all over the internet, okay? We don't need people to know how much I like poofy stuff.
All she wants is a spear somewhere.
Yeah.
Safe and warm.
Whoa, hey.
Sing it.
All I want is a spear somewhere to stop things in the cold night air. With my enormous hair, oh, wouldn't it be lovely? Thank you. That was impromptu.
I don't even know what that was.
That was Eliza Doolittle.
Yeah, that was My Fair Lady.
I am not cultured.
Okay.
Oh, okay. On that note, we're going to wrap the show up. So, guys, make sure you follow AfterBuzz on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV. You can follow me at Jenna Busch, BUSCH. You can find my stuff on fanhattan.com, and you can watch Cocktails with Stan Lee on World of Heroes on YouTube.
You can follow me at JROTHC. That's JROTHC, and you can find my work at IGN.com. Sweet.
And you can follow me at Matt Lieberman, LIEBERMAN. I'm doing live comedy tomorrow night if you live in the Los Angeles area at the IO West Best of Sketch Showcase. We're also doing a brand new show, my team DJ Fawcett, next Sunday at 7 p.m. Also, I have online sketch comedy, Viewers Like You, Facebook.com/VLYTV.
And it's funny.
Yes,
Funny.
Check it out.
All right.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.